Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Today we will be reviewing the game between CSK and KKR. CSK with nothing to play for. We discussed this yesterday. They're free souls right now. They were able to just go out there, perform, and too much pressure on KKR kind of showed. Of course, we have Musti and me who are going to review the game today. Musti, your thoughts on the game?
Oh, an amazing game, man. I think it was fun to
Fun game
watch
to
it.
watch.
Yeah, it went down to the wire. It swung in the last 5 overs. It swung both ways. I
Yeah.
think at one stage we thought CSK is cruising, and then KKR got it back, and then in the end, Jadeja came and smashed those sixes and won them the game. I think a really good day for two Indian youngsters. Rana is not as young, but he's been there in and about the IPL. He's been performing. He's really hot and cold, man.
Yeah.
One day 0, one day 80, but today was a superb innings by him. And Ruturaj, I think he had. I think Dhoni mentioned it took him 20 days to recover from COVID, so we couldn't really he couldn't really judge him, but he looks like a super player. I think it's a big positive for CSK. Yes, they're out of the tournament, but for the future, it's a big thing. We were worried about what's going to happen, like when Dhoni, Faf, Watson goes and everything. Now, like even if Watson goes, they have an opener there. So I think that's a huge positive for CSK and KKR. Man, I don't know. Like this team has so much. Again, a problem in the batting order. They messed up. I think they played a good game. They just in important crucial times they let go of the game. Ferguson, he got hit and then he came back and then he got hit again. You don't expect that from your best bowler. Cummins as well in patches bowled really well. So there's a lot of talent in that team. But I think first of all they got their batting order right, and then the bowling. When they had the game like 30 of 8-9 balls, they should have sealed it. I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think those are fair points. I think the pressure, kind of like we were discussing yesterday, there was too much on pressure. There was a lot of pressure on KKR to kind of win this game. They needed it more than CSK did. CSK were free spirited. They came out there.
So let me ask you a question on that point.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, sorry, but just
Yeah.
on that point, you said pressure, right?
Yeah.
So if there's pressure, you need your captain to go at number 4, not Rinku Singh.
Absolutely.
He's playing his first game, or I don't know. I haven't seen him much
Yeah.
this season. It's probably his first game of the season. If it's a pressure game, you need to send your captain. Like he needs to send himself in at number 4.
I have been saying this from day one. Like I had this KKR team to make it the playoffs very easily because of the lineup that they have. I've been mentioning this. I've been mentioning you can read the private chats that we've had. It is so mind-boggling to me that this team is not using its potential to the fullest. You have the best enforcer, middle order enforcer in Morgan, and usually he's coming up 5-6. You have the best finisher in Dinesh Karthik, and you bring him up at 3-4. Makes no sense. Rinku Singh is probably not even like he hasn't featured. Yes, he might have played a few balls in the nets that are good. Keep him as your finisher. Keep him at number 6-7. If you need those last 2-3 ball sixes, he can give you that. But your middle order enforcer is Morgan, and he's your best player, and he's your captain. Let him come in and the momentum was with them because of Rana's innings. The momentum was with them. This could have easily become a 180 plus score had they sent Morgan up there, and that would have been very hard for them to chase down because they just about managed the 170, right? They needed that middle order enforcer. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's mind-boggling that these guys have been trying to chop and change around so much, when they could have just easily played to their strengths and could have been in a position where Mumbai is right now, sitting at 15, 16, at 16 to 18 points and just chilling. They wouldn't have had to deal with that. Now they've come in a position where they have to depend on a lot of other results to go in their way. They have to win their last game and a lot of pressure and when things don't go against, and we saw in the beginning of this tournament for Punjab, when things don't go your way, they just don't. And that's what's happening to Kolkata right now. It's just not going their way. And that's why they're struggling, so.
Yeah, and I think normally when they lose badly, but this will hurt them a lot because they had the game in the bag, I think. But they made mistakes. Like even in the batting, they had a really good score, but they could have had 200 if Morgan went, like you said.
Yeah.
So even with the ball, even then, with the ball, 30 of 10, 30 of 9, you expect the bowling team after they've pulled it back. Ferguson bowling a no ball and then getting hit 6 on the free hit, that's unacceptable from a bowler like that.
Exactly.
Fine, you get hit, no problem, of a good ball, but a no ball got them back into the game.
Yeah, and they got the 2 extra runs as well, right? So that kind of helped us. It's just unacceptable at that level to bowl a no ball in a very, very crucial time like that. You should be bowling from behind the umpire for all I care about.
Imagine he didn't bowl the no ball and he still got hit for 6. They would have still won because that extra ball and the extra runs wouldn't have things. So
exactly, yeah. That's the thing. It's just unacceptable. And in the end, I think it was just unfortunate because too much pressure on the young lad. He's only 19 years old, Kamlesh Nagarkoti. I mean, he tried. He bowled the first 3-4 balls were pretty good. And in the end, Ravindra Jadeja used his experience and just slammed him out the park. I mean, you can't really blame the young kid for that. it was really that kind of changed the way the no ball kind of really
Yeah, the
changed the innings
penultimate
forever.
over, because in Nagalkoti 10 of 6, you just need one hit, right?
Yeah,
And he
exactly.
actually, to be fair enough, he took it to the last ball. Yes, the
The
second
last
last
ball,
ball he got a hit for 6, but at one stage it was 7 needed
seven
of two
from
balls,
three. Yep.
7 of 3, right?
Yeah, seven
Something.
of two, I think it was, and
Yeah,
then he had
seven
six
of
and
two. So he
six.
had 6 and 6. So like, fair, he took it till the end,
Yep,
Nagalkoti. So
yep.
like, it is that penultimate over when you have your main bowler bowling. That's why you bowled him there. Like, everyone says penultimate over is the key. Bowl your
Most
best
important.
bowler. So I mean, it's fine if he gets hit, like I said, but it's the extra, like, that no ball, which is the
Yeah.
issue.
It's a story of being from the hero to the villain very quickly for Loki Ferguson. Unfortunately, like when he came on the scene, burst in the scene, took 5 wickets, and against Sunrisers Hyderabad, went into the super over, took 2 wickets and everything. Everyone was like praising him all like left, right, and center, and now he just really turned the game around in against them. Unfortunately, with that no ball and that six in the end. But I mean, this is how cricket is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, things are not going well for KKR. Chennai, on the other hand, Ruturaj Gaikwad is, like you said, I mean, what an incredible innings. The only fault I would see is that he got out. He didn't take the team home. He should have taken the. I mean, luckily they won, yes, but he was a set batsman. He needed to stay till the end to take the team home,
I
and
think
that's
the
why.
issue there was Sam Curran couldn't hit
Yeah,
it, like,
he was
so
trying harder.
yeah,
Yeah,
like I think he would have probably stayed, but that put the pressure on him to hit. So when you
yeah,
already like settled, and you're like, I mean, there's a lot of fatigue as well. I'm not making excuses for him,
yeah.
but I feel that if the other guy was hitting, it would have made it easier for this guy to finish. But I think the onus was on him, and then maybe he just tried like one shot too many and got out.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. But I'm just going to dock off 1 point from my ratings today because he didn't finish the game for him.
Fair enough, fair
but
enough.
but I think, yeah, great performance over there. The bowling little bit lackluster. They could have pulled it back just a shade more. But the pitch was decent. It wasn't terrible. Like they were able to, one. I still think that 180 is a good score on these pitches.
Surprisingly, the pitches have held up, man.
They held up pretty well.
They're actually looking better now
Better
than, like,
now. Yeah,
yeah, than the
yeah,
middle of the stages.
yeah.
I'm very surprised with the pitches. Like even in Abu Dhabi, 180, 190 looks like par right now. So like,
Yeah, I think Abu Dhabi started off very slowly, and they've really looked better now. And
yeah,
it's
very
quite
strange.
interesting. Yeah, it's quite interesting how that's going on. But I mean, it's good for the game of cricket. You don't you. I mean, as long as we are avid cricket supporters, but to just see a 120, 130 game, not everyone is going to watch that. You
Yeah,
and me will definitely watch it because we understand
yeah,
competition between bat and ball is more intense over there. But I
yeah.
think it's good for the game that 170s and 180s are being scored, and it's just more exciting
Yeah,
to
no,
look at the
credit to the
pitches.
groundsman, because you only have 3 grounds there. So
Yeah,
I think UAE have done a amazing job. Last minute, like
agreed.
arranging everything, but also the pitches itself and the ground. Like, you're playing so many game every single day, right? Like,
Yeah,
yes, it's on different grounds, but there's only 3. So
yeah,
in India, when you have an IPL, how many grounds are there? 8, 9,
correct.
10. So
Yeah.
like, I think I didn't expect it. I thought it was gonna be really slow. We're gonna see even like 80 all out and then 70 all out kind of, like, matches, but they've done a really good job.
No, I agree. I think that they've done a very, very good job. But yeah, I think that that wraps up game today. A lot to play for the next 3, 4 games, and we were talking just before the pod as well. It's just going to start. It's starting to open up really well, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see how this kind of pans out. And we'll know a lot more after tomorrow's game, which we will be talking about. But your man of the match before we get to there.
Man of the match is Ruturaj
Yeah,
Gaikwad. I think. Yes, I'm sorry he
Ruturaj.
didn't finish it off, but
I'm gonna I'm gonna give it to Ravindra Jadeja. Just,
yeah, I mean, fair enough in that sense. He won in the game, because after Gaikwad got out, they could have easily lost that game. So,
yeah,
and they did this in the last fixture.
yeah,
They needed same 44, 45 of 4 overs, and they lost it, Chennai.
yeah.
So fair enough. Jadeja is as crucial, but I'll just give it to the youngster. Like, I think he's making a mark in this tournament, and he's a player to watch out for sure.
Yeah, I think him and Devdutt Padikkal, I think, are probably the young players that have really impressed so far this season. I mean, there are a
Yeah.
few others, but I think these two
Dave the
really
Particle
come
has
out.
been on a crazy. He's like another level, because he's
Yeah,
been so consistent. Gaikwad,
exactly.
unluckily, I mean, unfortunately, he had COVID, so he couldn't play as many games, and then he wasn't given much opportunity because he
Yeah,
failed in his first couple of games. But
correct.
now, I think with the pressure off, he's starting to show his talent.
And now Chennai has some youngsters actually that they can build the team off of. Sam
Yes,
Curran,
exactly.
Rituraj. They have Jaddu and Raidu, who probably are around for a little bit longer, maybe a
Yeah.
couple more seasons at least in them.
They
So they can like build the
definitely,
team around these
yeah,
4, 5 guys
they
already.
definitely need to go into the auction again, but
Yeah, yeah,
and pick
for
up
sure.
players. But they have now like a core, if you may say.
Yeah, they're Faf also who will probably be there around for a couple of more seasons.
Yeah,
So they have like a decent 5 or 6 players. They need 4, 4, 5 more to just really become that team that we've known them to be. So it'll be
definitely.
interesting to see who they buy in the auction, which will happen soon enough. So yeah, I think that wraps up the game today. Moving on to very important game tomorrow between Punjab and Rajasthan. Both of them coming off of and I mean Rajasthan off of a very big win against Mumbai, in which Ben Stokes became absolutely invincible in that game, and he just really scored like an amazing run chase by him and Sanju. And Punjab, man, this team has suddenly turned everything around. You see that the points table, it says WWWW. It was just LLLL before that. So it's kind of story of two halves. They've been so poor in the first half and so good in the second. So it's going to be a very interesting game tomorrow.
Yeah, man, I have a big feeling that this is going to be the game of the tournament in terms of the actual quality of match. I hope it's going to be a close one, and also in terms of like the top four and everything, there's a lot to play for, and both teams are looking. And from Punjab, by far right now, are like probably the best team in form overall in the whole IPL. They haven't lost a game. They beat Mumbai as well, who are at the top. So Chris Gayle came to the team, and everything is
completely changed.
Yeah, the past has been forgotten, and it's just they're on the up right now, and that's it. Imran Khan said when the corner tiger is wounded, don't like mess around with it, right? That's what it is. Don't mess with the wounded tiger, basically.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. They lost 5 games, 1-1, and now they've flipped everything around, and they're the most dangerous team in this tournament. But at the same time, having said that, I think Rajasthan is right up there as well in terms of dangerous, because we saw what Ben Stokes did.
Yep.
And they did it convincingly against the Mumbai team. Convincingly, he scored 100, and Samson again back in form. So I think this is a battle of two informed teams and match winners all around the board. You have Maxwell, you have Stokes, you have Butler, you have Gale, you have Rahul, you have Samson, you have and then Archer, Shami. You have match winners everywhere. So it's going to be a delight to watch for sure.
Yeah, I think Rajasthan base is dependent more on individual performances, and Punjab has kind of over the past 2-3 games at least kind of proved as a team that they're a solid unit. But Rajasthan still depends on individual performances. So if the individuals like the likes of maybe Samson, Butler, as Stokes, and if let's say Archer has a poor game because he's due a bad game, right? He hasn't had a bad game all season.
Yeah.
So if he has a bad game or something of the sort, then Punjab can really win this game easily.
I think you're 100% correct, especially in the bowling.
Yeah. Because he's the lone survivor. He's really that. I mean, every now and again, Gopal and Tewatia maybe kind of back him a little bit.
Yeah.
We saw a couple games with Tyagi was good, and then he's kind of dropped off again. Gopal was good a few games, he's dropped off again. But Archer's been consistent. Every game he's giving you less than 6 economy, and he's giving you at least 2 wickets. I mean, that's just phenomenal, you know. So it's just beautiful to see that. So I think it's kind of individual versus team. So it just depends on who comes out stronger on their day. Because Punjab has weaknesses as well. Like, they still have bowling that can be tonked around. They have batting. If the top 4 kind of go, then Maxwell, Huda, and these guys are really not performing as someone would like. So there's issues there, but there's a team as a unit, they are doing well. So it's going to be a very interesting game, not only based on the game, but just how it kind of opens everything up over the weekend to just see how that goes. Will be a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, and if you look at the Punjab bowling, when they beat Sunrisers, unfortunately, I'm going back to that game as well.
Yeah.
That's it. Shami got support from someone like Arshdeep. He got Bishnoi has been sensational. Jordan has supported him. So has Murugan Ashwin. Whereas Rajput's got hit, like you said, Tyagi's got hit. So that's like a big difference. So they'll need to step up for sure. So as a bowling team, batting wise, it's a bit different because one player can take. You just need a 1 or 2 players. Not all the time, but sometimes. I'm saying
exactly.
It could be, but bowling, it should be don't get me wrong, you need it's a team game, but I think bowling, yes, definitely you need support. You can't just have one bowler.
Exactly, and that's going to be fun to see. I mean, we'll see how it goes. But it is what it is, right? I mean, at this point, what else can you expect apart from it being a absolutely thrilling game? It's going to be just fun to watch. But we'll see how it goes. But who you tipping to win?
Oh, this is the toughest. I think this is the toughest prediction for me. I might have said this before, but right now I feel this is the toughest prediction. I think 50.
No, you can't say 50-50. You have to say who.
No, I'm not. I'll say 50.1, 49.9 in favor of Rajasthan.
Ooh.
So
I mean, for me, Rajasthan only because it opens up a lot of opportunities over the top 4. So I'm going to be biased.
Definitely. I want them to win as well. But at the same time, I think the biggest problem for them will be that, like, that bowling lineup. So like,
Yeah.
they'll, if they can sort that out, then they have a really good chance because they have the batting. If they're chasing and they're chasing 160, 170, 180, it's game on because they have the
Yeah.
batsman. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, so it depends on that. I think it's going to be a cracking encounter. I'm actually really excited for this game.
Yeah. I
So
mean, we'll see how it
yeah.
goes. I'm gonna say Rajasthan, but your players to watch out in each game.
For Punjab, I will watch out for Bishnoi,
Hmm.
because I think there's some really good foreign batsmen there. But if he gets them out, I think that'll be a key battle. And then for Rajasthan, Jofra Archer needs to get Rahul. He needs to get Gale. He needs to get Maxwell
Puran,
and Puran
Puran.
and Agarwal if he plays. He needs 5 wickets.
Only then they have a chance.
Yeah, or he gets 3 or 4 wickets and 2 run outs or something like that. But he is the guy. Like, I mean, too much pressure. Like, it's really unfair to expect so much because he's done so much. But
Yeah.
he's really good, man. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing with this team, right? Even against Sunrisers, he did that job. He got Bairstow and Warner,
Yeah.
but it wasn't enough
Yeah.
because the other bowlers leaked. So
Correct.
someone needs to step up. Like,
Exactly.
simple as that. Let's just
Yeah.
hope for their sake that somebody steps up. But otherwise, yeah, cracking game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the universe boss really stamping his authority tomorrow. He's had a very, very good tournament so far. Like the
Yeah, and
five
I
games
think
he's
he
played, they
liked this
won.
bowling lineup apart from Archer.
That's
That is the
exactly
battle.
why. That is
That is the
exactly why.
battle.
That is exactly why I want to see Universe Boss. Because if he can take Archer off, even if he can give him 6 dot balls, if he's playing him for whatever reason,
Yeah.
he has so much talent that he can actually just hit 36 runs of any of the other guys in
But
the
how
lineup.
would you do this if you're Steve Smith, right? Because he got criticism before, but then I realized it's not that fair, the criticism, because he only has one bowler who could
Yeah.
do that, right? He doesn't
Yeah.
have a Nokia or
Yeah.
somebody else, like, Rabada has a Nokia,
Yeah.
Bumrah has a Bolt. He doesn't have that, right? So
Yeah.
how would you, because you have Rahul Agarwal, right? If he plays, or Rahul and Mandeep. Then you have Gale. Then you have
Yeah.
Maxi as well coming, and Nicholas Puran. So Archer, who would you reserve him for? I think I would go for Gale, but like, how would
Yeah.
you, if you were him,
It's
what would
very
you
hard
think?
because Puran has had a very good tournament himself, so it's so hard. That's why I want to see how Gale performs today, because Gale's that kind of a guy. If he can take Archer seriously and carefully, he can really whack you around all the other bowlers.
Yeah.
But he has the tendency of trying a little bit too much and maybe getting out. But if it's his day, man, he'll score you 170 runs off his. You remember that one time when he scored 170 or 60 balls or something
Yeah.
against who was it?
Pune Warriors, the
Pune,
old
yeah,
one.
something.
Yeah.
And in that game, Bhuvi had 4 overs for 24 runs.
Yeah.
So in the 16 overs, he
That's what I'm saying.
slammed the
Yeah,
living
that's
shit
a
out of
that's a
them. So
crazy point. That's a
yeah,
crazy point. That's what I'm saying. So like, even
so
if he plays him out, then it's game on for Gale.
exactly. So that's what he has to, and he's the kind of guy who understands these things.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just gonna. That's why I want to see the Universe Boss tomorrow. If he can just get going, I mean, the Punjab will win this one easily. And from
Yeah, fair enough.
Rajasthan's point of view, I think it has to be Jofra. I don't think I can see anyone else, because yes, Stokes has been good, Sanju has been good, Smith is not really that there this season, but Butler has been good. But if Jofra can't provide with the ball, doesn't matter what these guys do. So that's kind of what it comes down to. So these two guys will be the game guys to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, fair
But
enough.
yeah, I think that
And
wraps
Ben
up the pod
Stokes, I think,
today.
will play an important role, of course, with the bat, with the ball as well. With the
I
ball as
agree.
well.
Yeah, I
If he
think
can
so.
step up with the ball and support Archer,
Support
especially
Archer.
especially in the
Yes.
death, or pick up some wickets in between, I
Yeah.
think that'll help
That'll
Rajasthan.
really help. I think that's a fair point. I think if he can do that, stepping up, and I mean, I'm not taking anything away from these Rajasthan bowlers, but it's just that they haven't come, have they
Yeah, it's from
haven't
the
shown
past games,
seasoning.
right? It's not
Yeah,
like you're making
yeah,
something up. It's from the past games, like from what
correct.
we've seen. Like, that's why on the day they need to step up for sure.
Yeah, I think I was just very excited to see tomorrow's game. It'll be fun to see that
Yeah,
one.
can't wait.
But yeah, we'll catch you right after.
All
Take
right,
care.
man. Take care.